Slay the Spire stream. I'm your host, Vegetablebread, and today we're going to be playing some Defect. Going to be trying out some boss swapping. People have been trying to tell me that's a bad thing. I've never really done it. I don't know. So there's some fairly persuasive arguments for it. The Lightning Orb is probably not your main source of damage in Act 3 and 4. It's very useful in Act 1, but having any boss relic is pretty useful in Act 1. Yeah, because the damage falls off, and because Crack Core has very little utility outside of that damage, there's some like compile driver interactions. People were suggesting that boss relic swapping is good as Defect. We could get a random rare relic here. We're not really going to consider that today, just because we're going to be boss relic swapping. But normally, I think I would choose this over a boss relic. Oops, I need to deploy my microphone boom. Hope that's a little better now. So yeah, we're going to do boss relic swap today. But let's take a look at the pathing first. There's a potential snipe path over here, but no Nia's Lament available. 3 fights and 2 question marks available on this route. This route, and that's it. Get 1, 2 elites in the act. Only way to get 3 is to go on the right. So I think we probably will go on the right. We lose out on one potential fight. I guess we could do the 4-fight path. Let's see what the boss relic is and see how strong we feel. Thanks, Flintlock. It is a black star, so we're like highly obligated to go right here. We like need to go to 3 elites. We're starting out black star. And black star also doesn't give us any ability to really scale up for these 4 fights, so I think we're going to go on the 2-fight, 3 question mark route. Hopefully one of these question marks is a fight. It's decently likely it is. Where's my extra 3 damage? Black star, no. I don't think we can afford to miss damage here. We need to make sure we're ending this fight on time. And 3 strikes does it. Okay, so we took 2. Not too bad. And we're rewarded with a Liquid Memories and Cold Snap. I think 95 out of 100 we're taking Cold Snap here. Reprogram's terrible, although it is floor 1 reprogram, so if you're going to take a reprogram, floor 1's the time to do it. Additionally, we did get rid of our starting Lightning Orb, so we could take a reprogram and just not do any focus stuff, just get like Rip and Tears and reinforced body and stuff. Make it work, I think. Although I have tried several times to make reprogram work and failed every time, so we're going to do Cold Snap. Cold Snap is the conventional pick. We also just like only have 2 fights in which to scale up, so we don't really have time for messing around with not picking attacks. Card remove. I think we will remove a strike. Defend is kind of tempting since we're low on attacks, so we could increase our attack density by removing a defend. We could remove the zap, just have no access to lightning orbs at all. But I think zap is generally better than strike, so we'll remove strike. All right, this question mark was a fight, so we got rewarded for hoping for a fight. Let's go ahead and just triple defend, try and finish the fight with 0 damage. Could work. Nope. Second Cold Snap or Cool-Headed? I think second Cold Snap is probably appropriate. What's my limit on Cold Snaps at the beginning of a run? I think I'd take like 3 Cold Snaps in a row if they're offered. Which is an interesting thing to learn about myself. We actually could get most of the value out of healing. Those lice took quite a bit of health from us. And we are pretty, we're on a pretty aggressive path. We need to do our last easy pool fight, and then an elite, fire, elite, Just elite. So 3 elites in a row here coming up. It would be nice to be at full health for that. So I think I will take the healing here. The 5 max HP is nice, but 21 HP now is not like critical to our success, but like helpful. And here we see a Jorm in his natural environment. 2 health or 6 damage? I think 6 damage. Okay. Max damage is Cold Snap, Dual Cast, Strike. It's going to be 16 plus 6 is 22, plus 6 is 28. And he's at 26, so it should be lethal. Yep. Okay. Barrage is interesting. Usually with Barrage you need some sort of capacitor to scale up to get enough orb slots to make that good. I think we're just looking for damage here. I guess Barrage and Compile Driver are both damage. We do have quite a few orbs with the 2 Cold Snaps. I guess that's an argument for both Barrage and Compile Driver. I wish this was like a Blizzard. Picking double Cold Snap into Blizzard would be really good. We could take a Cool Headed and just like lean into the Frost Orb rotation plan. It's good against Sentries. It's bad against Gremlin Knob. We're going to take Compile Driver because Barrage is bad against Lagavulin. And we should probably take one of these too. Gremlin Knob. Okay. Unfortunately, can't get any value out of Dual Cast there. To zap or not to zap? If we zap, we get an extra draw off Compile Driver next turn. I don't think we're ever getting lethal next turn, so zap is going to cost too much health. I'm not willing to do it. If we're not getting lethal next turn, then zap does 9 damage. Puts him at 50. We have at least 7 damage next turn, so we need to find 43 more with 5 energy over 2 turns. 43 divided by 5 is like 7. Actually, no, it's like 8. And we can't really do 8 damage per energy. So even that's not very realistic. Yeah. Thanks for the quick calculator. Stealth. So I think no zap. And probably no defend here either, because we're not getting lethal this turn. Or next turn. Are we getting lethal next turn? Gosh. We sure are hanging out in this fight for a long time. How do we get out of here? Cracked Core would have been really helpful with that dual cast on turn 1. Alright. We're committed. We might spend the liquid memories next turn. If we can get lethal with it. We could dual cast. We get 6 passive blocks, so we're up to 11. He's hitting us for 13 net health. If we were going to liquid memory or something, what would he even be? It's like we can only get 7 damage out of that. I guess our vulnerable wears off after this turn. This is really scary. I guess we're just going to strike. Okay, now we have to get lethal before he hits us for 24 again. So let's go ahead and commit to that. And if we're giving him strength and hoping for a lethal next turn, I guess we'll go ahead and defend too. We almost can't miss. Yeah, actually we can't miss. The lowest damage hand is defend, dual cast, and then like strike, cold snap, which is enough. So we have lethal guaranteed. Okay, Mummified Hand is insane for Defect. So we need to pick some powers. Sunder is pretty good for elite hunting. We're definitely elite hunting with the Black Star. So I think we'll pick up the Sunder. Upgraded dual cast, okay. Probably resting here. Sunder does have a really nice upgrade. Gets like 8 extra damage. So I would love to get that, but we're also at 32 and need to go fight 2 elites in a row. We also have liquid memories with Sunder, so we can go back and get a free Sunder for positive 3 energy, which is very powerful. So I don't think we like super need. Maybe that's powerful enough that we can win without the rest. I think if we rest, if we like Smith and take the upgrade, if the next fight is Lagavulin, he's going to take like 20 health from us, and then we're not going to be able to fight this elite. We're going to have to feel like we go this way. So I'm going to rest instead. If it's sentries, though, we're going to wish we upgraded the thing. Yeah, it is sentries. That's too bad. Well, we could just Sunder, Liquid Memory Sunder anyway. Yeah, is there any universe where we don't do that? Okay. And then to deal with this guy, we're playing Zap for sure, Defend for sure, and then I think it's pretty unlikely that either target is going to be very effective for Strike. Mostly we just care where the Lightning Orb is going to hit. I guess I'll target this guy because he's lower health, but I don't think we're killing him next turn, so I guess we're targeting 3 turns from now. Lightning Orb disagrees. Compile Driver draws a card. Do we dual cast for free? Yes. Okay. Well, this blocks out, so we don't need the dual cast. Okay. Works for me. We'll get there eventually. These are both strictly good. Thunderstrike is interesting. It's quite a bit worse than normal because we only have the Zap. We don't have the Cracked Core Lightning Orb. Yeah, we don't have anything that makes Thunderstrike good other than Mummified Hand. Making Thunderstrike cost 0 is kind of insane. Haven't picked any defensive cards if you don't count the Cold Snaps, so I think I feel pretty comfortable with Charge Battery here. It can be Gremlin Knob again, and Charge Battery is not great against Gremlin Knob. We had quite a bit of trouble with Gremlin Knob last time, now we have a Sunder, so don't feel too threatened by that now. We did just pick up a Nunchaku, so with a Charge Battery Nunchaku we have a bit of energy manipulation. It sort of frees us up to not pick an energy relic at the end of Act 1, which is neat. Also the Mummified Hand is energy manipulation. So I feel pretty good about that. Gold-plated cables is quite a bit worse with no Cracked Core. We're not guaranteed to have an orb at the end of the first turn. So we need to make sure we're getting enough orb cards to make that happen. Alright, what's in the box? It's a Dreamcatcher. Could be a Sapphire Key. How likely are we to rest here and there? I think we're pretty unlikely to rest in either place. I think this is probably upgrade on Sunder. And hopefully this is upgrade 2. And if we take Sapphire Key, we can take Curse Key without being forced to open a future chest. Dreamcatcher is not a great relic. Let's skip it. It is Gremlin again. With the old turn 1 Sunder. This is probably the best fight for Swift Pop. So we are probably throwing that out here. And I think we're going to do it right now. Because it lets us spend all of our energy on attacking. Sunder does more damage per energy than any of these other cards because it does 8 damage per energy. So I think we're just playing Sunder. Maybe Sunder Dualcast. Does 24, puts him to 22. Do we ever do 22 next turn? We don't. Alternate things we could do is double Cold Snap, Dualcast. It's kind of fun. If we're going to do that, we're going to Compile Driver. So Sunder does 24 damage, but double Cold Snap blocks for an extra 7. So we end up blocking for 7 plus 6 is 13. Which is nice. Wait a minute. Isn't it 5 plus 6? Yeah, it's 5 plus 6. So it's 11. If we throw a Dualcast in there, we'd probably block out. Block for an extra 10. I guess that blocks for 21 and he gets more strength, so it doesn't block out, but it's close-ish. If we play the 3 attacks, we also get closer to proccing than Chaku. We do 12, 19 damage, so we miss 5 damage to block for an additional 7. If we miss 5 damage, we do 19, he goes to 27. We never do 27 next turn. But the extra Frost Orbs mean that we take less damage too. Okay, Compile Driver first in case we change our mind. This would be Card Draw. And I think we're going to skip the Dualcast. The extra Frost Orb is pretty useful for next turn, and I don't really want him getting stronger. Best case scenario for next turn is Triple Strike Defend Plus. We got it. This is Nunchaku proc. That's why we're allowed to do that. Defend Plus or Charge Battery. I think it almost certainly does not matter. Actually, a little bit scary that we might not draw damage next turn. It's pretty unlikely we would draw, like, actually no damage, but it could happen. We got him. Okay. A Symbiotic Virus. Okay. Strike Dummy makes that Thunder Strike that we didn't pick quite a bit better. There's a Reinforced Body. Reinforced Body's excellent. Although if I'm going to choose one of the single turn big block cards for Defect, I would prefer it to be a genetic algorithm this early on. So we have Symbiotic Virus and upgraded Dualcast now. So that's probably our plan for killing a lot of big monsters. So we got to make sure we don't pick too many orb things now, because we don't want to disrupt that. We also have the kind of insane relic combo of Symbiotic Virus Gold-plated cables. So that Dark Orb is going to tick up really quickly, which is nice. So Reinforced Body helps block out while we get there. Uh-oh. This is quite a fight. The most damage-efficient thing to do with Sunder is to hit the Mad Gremlin, because then we get all of the energy back, and we allocate our damage pretty efficiently. But it blocks for more if we hit a Sneaky Gremlin. So I'm a little bit torn. If we hit the Mad Gremlin and then Reinforced Body, we block out. We block for 21. Charge Battery for one of the procs. We skip the Zap. I think that's probably fine. If we get Dual Cast on this next turn, it'll do 12 to this guy and that guy, which is pretty good. So I don't think we're too worried about killing them right now. Okay. Excuse me, 18. And I think we're going to start working down this Gremlin Wizard. If we can get him under 13 and have him die to the Dark Orb, that would be ideal. Wait a minute. We can't actually block for 20 anymore. So I guess we have to kill this Mad Gremlin. Okay, so I guess the plan is to kill him with the Dark Orb next turn. So we just need to kill this Sneaky Gremlin so he's a target for the second proc. Okay, so it's up to 30, so we do a custom win. Cool. Really good outcome for a pretty hard fight. Compile Driver helps Nunchaku stuff happen. We also have a Symbiotic Virus now. Symbiotic Virus and a bunch of Frost Orbs. So Compile Driver is actually fairly likely to be able to draw 3 cards with this deck. We're fit every day. Just gotta redeem an exercise reward. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Be right back. My window open or something? That train's really loud. Okay, I think we're skipping all of these though. So Compile Driver is interesting because we could draw 3 cards with it, but the value of drawing 3 cards is not super high, and we've already got a Compile Driver. I think we're okay on damage for now. Slime Boss, okay. Probably want to upgrade a card here, probably Sunder. So the ideal situation is we block out the Slime Boss's first attack, and then we get Dual Cast and Sunder Plus together, and just blow him up, and never let him transform. Which sounds like a fantasy, but is actually extremely realistic, and is probably what's going to happen. I don't know about putting together Sunder and Dual Cast, but I think Dual Cast is probably just going to kill him. Okay, if Dual Cast is going to kill him by itself, why are we upgrading Sunder right now? Why not upgrade Zap or Reinforced Body? It's a good question. Sunder is really good in hallway fights, particularly in Act 1 and Act 2. There is one more hallway fight to go before the shop. But Reinforced Body has a really nice upgrade, and Reinforced Body is going to be good throughout the whole game, whereas Sunder is going to start feeling like a curse. We're not going to be playing Sunder too much in Act 3. But we're not in Act 3 yet. I think I'll upgrade Reinforced Body anyway, though. Reinforced Body is so good. Alright, Acid Slime. Okay. I think we're just waiting on Dualcast to win this fight for us as well. It's a little early. Let's see. So if we do double Cold Snap, defend, or I guess double Cold Snap, Dualcast, Zap is the max damage. So we do 16, 15, or sorry, 12, 15 plus 36. 15 plus 36 is 51, is that right? 15 plus 36, yeah. So it puts his mini slimes down to 10. That seems okay. It's not amazing, but I don't want to take 12 either. Sunder. Cool. Wasted a Nunchaku, but that's okay. Doesn't really matter. We could upgrade the Darkness to make it proc our Dark Orb initial time. I'm a little bit wary about adding more orb generation to the deck, since we really want to rotate our orbs pretty slowly. We're really trying to kill people with that initial Symbiotic Virus proc. Also, we have yet to find a power, despite our Mummified hand, so that's really unfortunate. It's a good boot sequence. We're not really trying to do anything super spectacular in turn 1. Also, taking boot sequence kind of ruins our Snecko Eye. So I think we're just going to skip here. Boot sequence could help save us during the slime boss's big attack, though. There's a membership card. We don't have quite double the money. Double the money would be, what, like 338 or something? So we're losing, let's see, 38 minus 13 is 25. So we're losing like 12, or just, I guess 25 effective current money by buying membership card. Yeah, there's no way a $25 membership card is too expensive. Okay. There's a genetic algorithm. That's really nice. We could get genetic algorithm and oddly smooth stone. Hey, Sir Artemal, I'm doing good. How are you doing? Let's see, can we afford genetic algorithm oddly smooth stone card remove? I think no. Yeah, no is the answer, unfortunately. There's Storm, that's our first power. We do probably want to play some powers, given that we have Mummified Hand and we're playing Defect. Storm is a weird pick for first power, though. We can afford Storm, genetic algorithm, oddly smooth stone. Hey, Guitar. How's it going? Extra HD, ooh. I didn't change anything. I think OBS did update, although it actually kind of irritated me because the update stream info box didn't work the first time I used it. I don't think I stream in 4K, Silent Lord. Let's see. Now I'm curious. What do we What do we got set up going on over here? I don't really know. Looks like our output resolution is 1280 by 720. So 720p is the best you're going to get, realistically. Yes, I do. You could upscale it. There's some decent upscaling that exists in the world. The best upscaling is not currently feasible for real time, but maybe you're watching a VOD right now. I don't know. Alright, see you around, Sir Edible. Am I picking Storm? I'm so torn on this Storm. Like, I want it. I want to play Storm. We have Strike Dummy, so we could get Thunderstrike. Do Storm Thunderstrike. We have Mummified Hand. It's a $19 Storm. How could it be bad? It is. It does let you channel a lot of orbs, which is good, but also bad because it forces us to evoke our Dark Orb when we might not otherwise want to. I don't know. I don't think I'm buying Storm as the first power. I think if I had a creative AI already, Storm would be an automatic pick, but I don't have that. Okay, so I think we're just doing genetic algorithm. All this means done. No reason to overcomplicate it. I'm assuming we can get away with an upgrade here. That might not actually be true. Maybe we need to rest? Let's see. Assuming we have 2 Frost Orbs by the time he attacks, we will have 24 effective health. Assuming we miss Reinforced Body. We've got a Defend plus. Yeah, it seems like we might need to rest. Seems kind of sketchy. Are we ever killing him before the first attack? We have Sunder, dual cast on the Dark Orb. So the Dark Orb will start at 8, and then it'll go up by 12 per turn. Is that right? Or does it start at 6? I always get the Dark Orb math wrong. I think resting is the responsible play here. Okay. If we had like a skill pot, I could see it. So it starts at 6 and goes up by 6 per turn. Okay. We could just Sunder for damage. We do kind of want to get him close to 76 so that we can dual cast him to death. And Sunder does that. Alternate play would be Cold Snap Charge Battery to start setting up for the attack turn. I like Sunder. Alright, genetic algorithm needs to get played. There's an argument to skip Zap. Zap makes you lose control over how much damage you're doing. And if we're trying to get him to 76 and then wait until we draw a dual cast, that's a little bit problematic. On the other hand, Zap does help us tick down his health so that the next time we draw a dual cast, we'll be closer to 76. I'm not sure which side of this I'm on. On the plus side, it looks like we're very likely to draw a Reinforced Body next turn. And if we play Zap, we're actually even more likely, because Compile Driver will draw 2 cards. So I am going to play Zap for that out. Okay, we drew it naturally, so I'll block for 38. Or 30. He's hitting for 38. Alright, looks like we didn't need to rest, but there was no way to know that at the time, so oops. Okay, so dual cast is not currently lethal. It does 80. 84, I guess, suppose. Next turn, it will do 84 plus 12. Hey, thanks, play Chexy with dice. Thanks for the follow. What's Chexy? Maybe it's Chexi. Are you talking? Wait, is Chexy that like the promotional first-person shooter that came out in like the 90s? No, that was Chex Quest. Can't fool me. I was around in the 90s. Uh, thanks, Moribund, for the assist. Okay, so next turn... Okay, so currently it does 84. Next turn it does 84 plus 24, which is something over 100. I guess 84 plus 24 is 108. So we need to... And this is going to do 6 damage over those 2 turns, so it's 118. So we really only need to do 2 damage this turn. To make sure that we're getting there. And we want to... Outside of that, we want to do the least damage possible, so that we're not accidentally splitting him before the Dark Orb is online. So we're just going to stop there. One of my main problems... Yeah, so now 54, 108. Math. One of the biggest things that like I like to watch other Slay the Spire streamers, and I'm always like looking for new people, right? So and new people are often like climbing Ascensions. They're like trying to figure the game out, and misplaying the slime boss fight is something I see just all the time. People are just like, I don't care, just throw the damage in there. It's like, no, you really have to think about what your plan is for slime boss. Slime boss is like the one who's teaching you that, hey, bosses have like, they have predictable patterns and you need to be ready for them. It's like, it's part of what makes Slay the Spire great is that it does a really good job of teaching you. And the way that it teaches you about slime boss is there are other slimes in Act 1 that split, right? There's like the big slimes that are in the hardpool fights. And it's like, okay, so when you find slime boss, you know, based on affordances from other games and from those other slimes in this game, that he's gonna split. You know it. If you ignore that and just barrel on forward, he's gonna kill you. Okay, talking about this card reward. Nothing here really costs 0. It does give us back the dual cast. So I think we're probably skipping All for One. All for One is insane if we get Snecko Eye, but looking for a specific boss relic is unwise. You got like a 1 in 10 chance approximately of getting a specific one. So 90% of the time, All for One reduces your win rate. Looking for, let's sidebar on that for a second. Looking for a specific boss relic. I said 90% of the time it reduces your win rate, but it's also possible that the only way you were going to win already was if you found found that out, right? So if you're already playing towards a specific out, you have to pick the cards that help you when you get that out, right? So if your only way of winning the run from here was getting Snecko Eye, which it isn't, right? That's not the situation we're in. Then you should absolutely pick All for One and just assume that you're getting Snecko Eye. Because if you're not getting Snecko Eye, you're already losing, so your win rate doesn't matter. Okay. But that's not the situation we're in, so we're not picking All for One. I don't think I've ever actually added a buffer to my deck intentionally. You play them all the time from creative ads and stuff. Maybe this is the time with the Mummified Hand. Maybe we just add a buffer to the deck and have that be the first power. I don't think so, though. Awakened One still exists in the game, and I don't know. Buffer's just like, it's never like mega helpful. What if Buffer said the next time you would lose HP, you become intangible instead? That'd be way better. Because then it would like block a whole turn from birds or block Book of Stabbing or something. I just feel like Buffer often blocks for like 2. And I don't know why putting it in the deck would make it better than just randomly generating it. So I think it's probably Core Surge. Core Surge does something really valuable, which is sets up for Bias Cog. We've got some Frost Orbs. So Core Surge is good. It's not amazing. It also like prevents debuffs sometimes from like in like the Chosen fight or something. Okay, we don't have Omamori, so Callingville doesn't have a special friend. We don't super need an energy relic. I was talking about this earlier. Because we have Mummified Hand, Nunchaku. I guess Mummified Hand and Nunchaku. Oh wait, no, it's a card, is it? There's something else that... Oh yeah, Charge Battery. because we have those three things, we don't really need a fourth energy. It would be helpful, but the primary thing the fourth energy is helping us do as Defect is like play Creative AI or Echo Form, and we don't have those cards, so we don't super need the fourth energy, which is good because Philosopher's Stone can definitely get you killed, and that's the only energy relic available here. No White Beast statue, so Sacred Bark does not have a combo active. We do have a Artifact Potion and a Core Surge, picking Sacred Bark and then finding like Speed Pots or Flex Pots is really powerful because we can get like 10 permanent strength or permanent dex. Do I think that Sacred Bark loses its appeal after Ascension 10+? I assume you're talking about Ascension 11, where you get 2 potion slots instead of 3. And yes, for sure. Sacred Bark is way better when you have 3 potion slots than when you have 2. The primary problem with having 2 potion slots and picking Sacred Bark is like sometimes one of those potion slots will get full of a fairy. And you don't want to get rid of the fairy, right? Because the fairy will save your life. But it puts a lot of pressure on you to be like using that potion efficiently every fight. And then, you know, you'll have a fight where you don't get a potion, and then the next fight is your Mega Elite, and then you're like, oh crap, now I don't have a potion. So it's like I basically just didn't pick a boss relic from this act. So yeah, I think if you don't have either White Beast statue or Potion Belt, Sacred Bark is probably not your best option. Sometimes your other options are like Tiny House and Philosopher's Stone, so you're like, all right, Sacred Bark, let's do it. But and also sometimes you have really good relics. Sometimes you have like an attack potion and a power pot, and you're like, hell yeah, I'll take Sacred Bark, or like a regen potion, and like a fruit juice, and you're like, okay, obviously. But that's not really the situation we're in. So it's situational, but it definitely gets worse at Ascension 11, like dramatically. I think we're taking Calling Bell here. Calling Bell, since the rework, is really good. The curse is not terribly bad. It can be mitigated by card draw, of which we have a small amount, compile driver. We'll probably get more with like a Cool-Headed or something at some point. Yeah. Also, for the memes, Calling Bell and Black Star also lead to us getting lots and lots of relics, and that can lead us to getting the right arrow of victory. You should really consider your relic bar a progress bar. You want to fill up the whole screen. That's how you win. That's what Slay the Spire is all about. It's getting all the relics. It's a game about collection, not killing the heart. Killing the heart is irrelevant. It's just part of the process. You kill the heart because the Spire elites give you an extra relic. So, all right, let's do it. Boo! Yay! Lantern, Eternal Feather, and Lizard Tail. Wow. Okay. So Lantern further mitigates our need for a 4th energy. So now we've got 4 sources of energy that aren't a boss relic. We've got a Mummified Hand, Nunchaku, Lantern, and the Charge Battery. Eternal Feather is amazing. Eternal Feather is particularly good if you get apparitions. So we probably want to hit that 20 card breakpoint, and possibly 25 before we hit the next fire, so we get extra healing out of Eternal Feather. And Lizard Tail is really great. My general heuristic for Lizard Tail is if you get it from like Niao or early in Act 1, you should probably try and spend it as a resource. You should like use Lizard Tail to get you more other relics, because Lizard Tail itself doesn't like actually do anything. It just sort of increases your max HP by 50%. But then if you get it in Act 2 or 3, you should try and save it for the heart if you can, because the way like Lizard Tail and Fairy work is like if you're at 1 health and you lose and you get hit for 50, you still go to 50% of your max HP after the damage. So like you end up blocking for 53 and then using your Lizard Tail, which is great. Okay, we already spent our money, so we don't really need to go to this shop. Part of the reason I spent that money is because you really want your Act 2 pathing to be unconstrained, you want to just look for as many question marks as possible. Unfortunately, the path with lots of question marks here leads us to a Mega Elite. Oh my god, this whole floor, it's 2 fights and then all question marks the entire way, and then 2 elites, and then finally another fight at the end. Which is really good. Act 2 question marks are super good. So if we think we can survive this Mega Elite, we should probably do it. So Act 2 Mega Elites. Yeah, Act 2 events are definitely, I would say, the best question marks in the game. Act 3, like, let's see, how do you phrase this? So Act 3, the question marks are better most of the time than the Act 2 question marks, because Act 2 has some bad ones too, right? There's the, like, there's the Bloody Idol one, and the bet on the Lancers one. Like, there's some meh ones. And in Act 3, like, almost all of them are, like, either really good or really bad. Or almost all of them are either really good or nothing. But in Act 2, the alternative to question marks is hallway fights, and Act 2 hallway fights are, like, extremely deadly for some reason. Yeah, Act 2 is, like, definitely the act where you're most likely to die to random hallway fights. Like, you can die in Act 1 to hallway fights, if you, like, get forced into the hard pool before your first elite or something. But, like, Act 2 hard pool is just, like, astoundingly difficult. There's, like, snake plant in there and stuff. So yeah, Act 2, and that makes Act 2 question marks better by comparison, right? Because if you're going to a question mark, you're sort of dodging a hallway fight. Alternately, we do have Black Star, so if we can go fight 3 elites, maybe we should do that instead. We can do that. Technically, we could go this way, go through these fights, 2 question marks to this elite, and then do this one and that one. Get a fire afterwards. It's not terrible. We do get 3 question marks in the Act, 2 here, 1 here. So we have some chance of getting apparitions or bites or something. But overall, that's a really difficult path, because we got 3 fights here, and then 2 elites with no rest, another fight, then, like, another elite. Like, I don't think we're getting through all that without resting. Whereas this path is, like, probably just 1 fight, and then a bunch of question marks, and then a fire before the Mega Elite. Act 2 Mega Elites can definitely kill you, though, and this deck is not immune. If we get, like, Strength Book of Stabbing, or honestly Strength anyone, Strength Slavers, Strength Gremlin Leader, all pretty dangerous. But I think we'll have to risk that. Plus the reward is pretty good. It frees up our Act 3 pathing. And lots of question marks. You chosen. Very well. Alright, we get to get our genetic algorithm out of the way. And Lantern helps us get an energy next turn. Core Surge a turn too late. Drat. And Dual Cast a turn too early. Do our Dual Cast here for just 36 damage. Puts her down to 37. Cold Snap down to 31. That's starting to sound like Sunder range. Okay. Defend is happening. Is Zap happening? Yes, because of Compile Driver, I think. Okay. There's Sunder. It's not lethal, but it's very close. Maybe we should have Artifact Potioned the Hex here. If we'd played the Lightning Orb before the Cold Snap last turn, it would be lethal. Maybe I should have thought about that more. Nuts. If we don't Sunder, we are in some trouble. I think I'll just Sunder and take 8. Get lethal next turn. It's okay. Alright. Recycle. What are we doing with recycle? Helps us set up reinforced body, gets rid of sunder and gives us something for it. Gets rid of like zaps and strikes and defends in long fights. Hey Onzone, thanks for the follow. Hey, I think I gave you a raid the other day. I've enjoyed your stream. Yeah. I don't know. Is recycle good enough though? And thanks for the follow, Gojir. At least I presume that's the pronunciation. Maybe it's Gojir. A little bit of a harder J sound. I don't know. People's screen names, man. Who can say? Yeah, that Sunder is becoming a liability pretty quickly. Which is partially an argument for recycle and partially an argument for just card removing it at some point. I think that the problem with recycle is we don't have anything expensive to play. We've got like quite a bit of energy stuff already with the Lantern, Mummified Hand, Nunchaku, and Charge Battery. So I just don't think recycle is necessary or helpful. We do sometimes have 3 energy hands where like none of these things are activated, and Sunder's in hand and a bunch of other stuff, and Sunder isn't lethal, which is unfortunate. Also, we have no powers, so I probably shouldn't be counting Mummified Hand as a power manipulation card. Likewise, Nunchaku is very inconsistent. It's hard to set that up. Just every once in a while you get a little drip of energy. If this were like a claw deck, we'd be triggering that once a turn, but it's not, so... Yeah, I think we're passing on recycle. And Sweeping Beam is too low impact for Act 2. Same with Ball Lightning. If we took in the Thunder Strike, we'd be having a very different conversation about Ball Lightning, but it's not the world we're living in. Alright, the Joust. One of the events I just mentioned as not being particularly good. This is kind of a weird situation. So because we have membership card, so you get more money if you bet on the owner. You get to have a higher expected value here. But because we have membership card, just winning 100 gold is like pretty highly valuable. And it's pretty easy to actually saturate the value of any individual shop with that much money. Because effectively we have like 234 right now. And if we win this, if we won the 250, right, we'd have like the equivalent of like 600 gold, right? Like there's no point in having that much gold, really. So I don't think we want that. I think we want the low variance play that gives us, because we're not allowed to skip, right? So we'll take the, wait a minute, is this one the higher expected value one? It is, right? 0.3 times 250 is 75. So yes, so this one is the higher expected value. Okay, that's what I thought. So this one's slightly lower value, but like more consistent. So we'll take that one. Okay, and we win. Birds. Well, dual cast is way too early here. That is unfortunate. Alright, this guy's buffing, so he's the biggest threat, so we will focus him down. Yeah, not a good start here. Ooh, I probably should have held back one of the attacks and saved Nunchaku for next turn. It's probably a mistake. We were offered a hologram earlier. I didn't really think about it, but maybe hologram is a good idea next time we see it, because we can, if dual cast comes out too early, we can go fish it out and play it with a big old Dark Orb. Which is like definitely something we want to be doing. We can draw 3 cards with Compile Driver here, but we would have 0 energy when we draw them, so probably not a good idea. But it is neat. We could dupe Potion Cold Snap if we're feeling particularly desperate. Most likely we can knock down the front bird with dupe Cold Snap Compile Driver. Draws 2 cards if any of them are attacks. We get there. There's actually only 3 attacks here though, and Sunder we wouldn't be able to play. So 2 hits. 2 hits out of 9, drawing 2. It's like 60% chance of missing. Probably not a good bet. So I think we're probably just concerned about blocking then. So it's like defend, defend, cold snap. Which is lame. It seems like probably the plan is to kill this guy with damage and then Dark Orb to kill these two. So I think I'll put the cold snap on him. We're taking a beating here. Wow, we're off by 1 with the Sunder? Jeez, that is gnarly. We could dupe pot Sunder. Which is gross. They're only attacking for 18. So we can just cold snap reinforce body to block out. No reason to panic. Okay, it's time for genetic algorithm to get played. We really need to kill him before we get that Dark Orb out. Can't play the Zap. Can't play the Cold Snap, so it's like Reinforced Body, Recharge Battery, I guess. So actually, now they're hitting for quite a bit. They're hitting for 30. I guess I can block for 30. Okay. We could strike, and that would almost kill him, and we would take 4, or we would take 6. I guess next turn we're pretty likely to draw both Sunder and Dual Cast. So if we can Sunder him to death and then Dual Cast the other two, that's pretty good. Yeah, I don't want to take 6. No, thank you. Okay, I guess we got the Sunder. I guess Compile Driver is likely to draw Dual Cast. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we got there. Liquid Memories, Ancient Pod is not super valuable because we have the Core Search, so we've got a repeatable source of artifact. Another shot at Recycle. I don't think that's any better than it was last time. A second Charge Battery or a third Cold Snap. Let's pick up the Liquid Memories. Dude, that is a cool emote. Cold Snap? I don't think we need a third Cold Snap, right? Well, we don't have a Glacier or Cool Headed or anything. But we also don't have any orb slots. So I think we're going to default to our no more orbs perspective, given that we're trying to kill people with the Dark Orb. Any orbs we add makes that harder, because they're dead draws if we're full of orb slots. So no on the Cold Snap, no on the Recycle. It's just Charge Battery or Skip. And I think it's probably Skip. Got Reinforced Body, Genetic Algorithm. We don't really need more energy, so I think we're skipping. Do we still feel confident in the Mega Elite? We can rest before it. These could give us apparitions or bites. I think we can probably still handle it. There's apparitions. Presumably that's good, right? Yeah, okay. Ghosty robot. Spooky ghost robot. Toy Ornithopter is great with apparitions. We actually have like quite a bit of incremental healing. So between Eternal Feather and Toy Ornithopter, we should be able to dodge using quite a few campsites for resting. especially given our low max HP. So that Eternal Feather is going to heal us for 12 when we go to a campsite, which is like a third of our max HP. And then Toy Ornithopter is going to heal us for like a seventh of our max HP whenever we use a potion. So between those, we should be pretty safe. We're in fact not even going to use this campsite for resting like I anticipated. Remember 2 floors ago when we were at 22 out of 70, we were like, I don't know if we can fight the Mega Elite. Now we're like full health. Probably Apparition, right? Apparitions are usually really good to upgrade. What else would want an upgrade? Zap wants an upgrade. Sunder wants an upgrade. Yeah, there's no way those are anywhere close to as good as Apparition is. Okay. Alright, it is Gremlin Leader regenerating. Alright, that's not too bad. Let's get him out of the picture and block. Alright, Sunder does not kill him. It's off by 9. So we need to block his damage, because any damage could kill us, right? Because we're very fragile. So I guess we cold snap him and defend, and do an unnecessary core surge. I guess we Apparition now, just because there's nothing else we particularly want to do. And we need to kill the Gremlin Wizard before he attacks, for sure. We don't have any AoE. And we absolutely have to land these Dark Orbs on Leader, I think. So we're going to be stuck here. We could Liquid Memories back the Sunder here. Kill these guys while they're... Actually, let's kill the Gremlin Wizard. Oops, I just wasted Toy Ornithopter healing. Okay. Do we stack the Apparition, or do we save it for later? We could even Duplication Potion Apparition. I think I'll save it for later. There's a significant chance of a turn where we don't need to block here. Okay. Apparition blocks out this turn. Genetic Algorithm is still not really a big enough block card to stand on its own, so we're just going to use it for value. Okay. If we dual cast, I think we lose. We need to kill these guys and then dual cast on Gremlin Leader. And that's looking tougher and tougher to get done. Reinforced Body would need to hit for 3 to block out. Actually, just for 2 would do it. Would almost do it. We'd take 1. But if we're going to strike one of them, then they hit for harder. I think that's okay. Well, the strike only does 4 damage. But we can't just wait and Sunder both, right? Maybe we are supposed to dual cast now. If we dual cast now, do we ever win? I'm not sure. We just have to chunk down Gremlin Leader with Sunders and Cold Snaps and stuff. We do have Duplication Potion and Sunder. It's a thing. Maybe we should have taken that that Dark Orb generator. At the time I was like, I don't want more generators because then I won't be able to use the first one. But I kind of built the deck around that one big Dark Orb, and now that I can't land it specifically, the deck is collapsing. But I think I lose if I let these guys survive this turn, because he goes up to 15 strength and he goes up to 10. And we're not going to have either Apparition or Reinforced Body next turn. So I guess we have to. Oops, don't do that. Do this. Okay. Sunder's the thing, right? That's the most damage efficient card. Yeah, he's just got too much health. I don't think we can ever break him. Eventually hits us for 23 times 6 or something. Sunder doesn't kill him, but we don't need to kill him this turn to win. We need to kill the Fat Gremlin, and we can't quite. We can do 15 and hope that the Lightning Orb hits him. We could develop a second Lightning Orb. Actually, that would make 3 Lightning Orbs hit, which is pretty reasonable. Alternately, we could Duplication and Potion Apparition here, which would save us for the next 2 turns. He cannot run out of minion spawns. I think we're going to go for the extra zap here and hope it kills Fat Gremlin. Okay. And now we have 5 health to regain with our Toy Ornithopter. Yeah, here's when we die. Okay. Our max block is Duplication Potion, Charge Battery, and then Double Defend, which blocks for 16 plus 12 is 28 plus 2, which is nowhere close to enough to survive. Compile Driver does exactly these 2 cards. One of them is Reinforced Body. So we can Compile Driver into Dupe Pot Reinforced Body for 2. Blocks for 40, so we block for 42, which is not anywhere close to surviving. We're getting hit for over 100 here. Yeah, I think we got a little bit too ambitious. Oh wait, we are, do we survive with Lizard Tail here? So we take 17 and 31. I think if we dupe pot the, Reinforced Body, I think we do survive with Lizard Tail. So we play Compile Driver, he goes down for whatever. Play Reinforced Body for 40. Get blocked for 42, he hits us for 17, we go down to 25. We double compile, get Appa. Sometimes. There's like a 20% chance of that. Maybe that's the out. But like, honestly, if we play Apparition this turn, do we ever win? Like, he's at 131. We have no mechanism for doing that kind of damage. Actually, Compile Driver gives us an extra energy, which I didn't realize. So we're actually blocking for 60 with that Apparition. So block for 62. He hits us for 17, we go to 45. And then, yeah, we survive. I mean, we survive with Lizard Tail. I mean, I was hoping to spend the Duplication Potion on an Apparition or a Sunder, but we only lose 2 health for Charge Battery. We actually don't lose any health. We just get Lizard-tailed at a slightly lower starting health. So this gives us an extra energy next turn. Oh shoot, that was not a good idea. We lost an energy for the double. I'm not sure if this works out anymore. It does. Okay. Cool. So we made it to this turn. We got an extra energy. They're hitting us for 52. We can block for 42 and survive, technically. Sure, I guess. Apparition, technically surviving. The best kind of surviving. We could sunder this guy. He has 17 strength. He's doing quite a bit of damage. We have to survive next turn without Apparition. I guess we have to plan on killing the Gremlin Wizard too. Alright, we got to turn off. I think we're just going to hope that one of those lightning orbs hits him so that we can be more damage efficient. We've got to take some really radical risks to win this fight. Oh, we didn't. Okay, fine. That's whatever. I don't think we were winning that fight no matter what we did. Yeah, okay. So, need to do the friction trick. What's the friction trick? What did I learn from this run? I feel like I learned that Symbiotic Virus gold-plated cables, while it's really cool, is really fragile and subject to disruption. So we just got the fact that Gremlin Leader specifically summons a bunch of sort of meaningless drivel in front of him meant that we couldn't ever land the Dark Orb, and that caused us to lose the run. Oh, I see. Static electricity, yeah. Got a Van de Graaff generator in here. Yeah, interesting. I think Gremlin Leader is actually the only fight in the game that you have that specific deficit, right? Because in every other fight, all of the enemies matter. Like in Slavers, there's no missing. You can pretty much control which one it hits. In Book of Stabbing, there's no other targets. I guess against like Collector, you could say that the torch heads could steal the Dark Orb. But I think we had enough damage to kill torch heads, just not enough damage to kill gremlins. Fascinating. So if you're gonna do Symbiotic Virus gold-plated cables, you need to bring AoE to Act 2. Act 2, you generally always need AoE, but you need more than this. Maybe that sweeping beam. There was a sweeping beam in Act 2 that I passed, and I was like, this doesn't do enough for Act 2. And like, maybe we needed that. Maybe we needed to be able to sweeping beam away the gremlins. Interesting.